Hey, what's going on, Libras? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a general read. Because it's a general read, it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. First, I'm going to pull an Oracle card for you from the Earth and Bone Oracle deck. Universe, give us a message for Libra. Flight, opportunity, prosperity, new venture. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Libras? Ooh, my God. Let's try that again. What message do we have for Libras for August 2025? All right, Libras. So the first thing I see is, I feel like there's an offer coming from someone you didn't expect. I mean, I don't feel like you saw this coming whatsoever. I mean, we have the Two of Swords, not seeing what's right in front of you. Now, I feel like this is someone... Now, I feel like this is someone that you know. It's not saying how well you know them, but I feel like you do know them, because I feel like you've been getting mixed messages from this person. And I don't mean that they've been putting off mixed messages. I just feel like when you're around this person, you feel something, maybe some flirtatious energy, maybe feeling like there's something else going on between the two of you, but because they're not saying anything, or because they haven't said anything, feeling like maybe your imagination is playing tricks on you. Maybe talk yourself into thinking, okay, maybe they're not into me. You know, I feel like they're into me. There's moments when you feel like they're into you, and then there's other moments when you're like, okay, maybe they're not. Maybe I'm just imagining this. Maybe I feel some sort of way for this person, and I kind of hope that they felt the same way back. But with the Moon card, feeling like your imagination is playing tricks on you, even though you feel this connection to this person, even though it feels real, almost to the point where it feels so real that it can't be not real. You know what I mean? Too good to be true doesn't really fit in here. Like feeling like this person is seeing me and looking at me in a way that someone that isn't interested doesn't do that. But like I said, not really sure, because I feel like the communication wasn't there. You know, you weren't getting any clear indications. Sometimes it's confusing when someone, you know, you feel like someone's into you, you're into them, but you don't know how they're feeling. And flirtation can be misinterpreted. Sometimes flirtation is just flirtation. But what I see is I feel like this person has an offer for you. You know, I mean, I feel like this person they've been thinking about you as much as you've been thinking about them, maybe even more. Because I do feel like this person's been fantasizing about you. You know, and I feel like this isn't just a crush or something like that, because I do feel like this is new love. And I feel like it's real. Because we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is not just your... Oh, I can't say that. That's too much. I'm trying to think of a way to say it. No, you know what? I'm going to go for it. The King of Cups is not the hit it and quit it type. You know, they're not just looking for something casual. This person's looking for something real. And like I said, I feel like they were in their head a bit as well. I feel like they may have initiated some flirtation. They didn't know how it was getting received. You know, some people that aren't good at flirting don't really know how it all works. We'll get into that later. But I feel like there's a moment where this person has perfect timing and things come, everything comes together. And there's this moment where this person just goes, you know, just says, hey, I'm putting it out there. The King of Wands. You know, they're just following their intuition. You know, they're just going after what they want. You know, so that's when I feel like the offer comes. Like I said, I feel like this person's well put together. I mean, we have the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles as well. You know, I feel like they have their shit together. I feel like they have confidence, and I feel like that's attractive to you. You know, they exuberate confidence. You know, and I feel like they work hard, and I feel like they don't really have anybody to share it with. But they also don't want to give it to the wrong person. But then you came along. And like I said, I do feel like this person tried to make an effort before, maybe with some flirtation. Tried to be a little flirty and just didn't understand if it worked or not. We go back to the Lover's card, and I want to make something very clear. When we get the Lover's card in a read, you know, and especially with the Ace of Cups, that's that soulmate type connection. You know, I feel like this was always meant to happen. Maybe sooner than it did, but maybe not. You know, sometimes things we meet for a reason and things happen for a reason. And we go through the little dance. I call it the little dance. You know, when you're attracted to someone, they're attracted to you, and trying to figure out where we go from here, that little dance. But also, with the Lover's card, it's a deep connection on both sides. And then we also have the Two of Cups, you know, which is that signifies something real. You know, it's something that has a possibility to last. And like I said, this person coming forward, making you an offer, it's not an empty offer. I mean, I feel like this person wants to build something with you. I feel like this person wants to, it's a real offer. It's a serious offer. Like, this person doesn't come to you and say, listen, hey, let's just go out for dinner and never call you back. Or this isn't the type of person to call you at 3 a.m. and say, hey, you want to hang out? You know what I mean? They're going to come with you with a serious offer, with serious intentions. You know, with that Hierophant, I mean, they want something real from this. They want to build a foundation, and they see you as someone they can build a foundation with. Now, one of the things I want to be clear about is I feel like with this person, like I said, I feel like they were holding back. They weren't really telling you. But again, I do feel like there was some flirtatious, or there will be some flirtatious energy. It's almost like this person trying to break the ice. I just don't feel like they're good at it. I don't feel like they put themselves out there like that very often. I don't feel like they're not a chaser. Or, you know, I feel like they're chasing you, but I don't feel like that's not their comfort zone. That's not their lane. But for you, they're making an exception. But again, not knowing if they're good at it. Now with the Six of Pentacles, you know, I feel like also we got some flirtatious, maybe this person buying you a gift or being generous with you. This is not a suave person. Let's just cut to the chase. This is not someone that, is overly suave. It is someone that's on the same page. It is someone that I feel like you're going to get what you want from. I feel like they're going to fill your cups. We have the 10 of Cups and the 7 of Cups as well. I feel like this is someone that what they're bad at isn't that bad. I don't feel like they're suave. I don't feel like they're, a person that's good at initiating. From what I can see, they're not very good at it at all. But what that tells me is they don't do it very often. They don't put themselves out very often out there. They have their shit together. They have what they have. And like I said, we have the 9 of Cups. I feel like you're going to be very happy with this person. I feel like this person's going to fill up your cups. This is someone that's going to be loyal. And I see good fortune for the both of you. I always, when I see two people coming together, it's not always going to be where that person is just very easy to read. And I feel like this person isn't easy to read. But don't doubt yourself, because I feel like you knew what was happening. Even if you say you don't, I feel like there's a part of you that thought this might happen. There's a part of you that wanted this to happen. And now it is. Even though I feel like there's a part of you that thought your imagination was playing tricks on you, or you're looking too deeply into it, sometimes the energy is too strong to ignore. Now with this person, Leo, we have Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. We have Cancer and Pisces. I completely understand this person. I am not a good flirter. Never good at it. Thank God for Rose, because she is an aggressor. When I met Rose, I wanted to flirt with her. I wanted to ask her out. But I'm just not, it's not about confidence for me. I'm not good at it. Now, I want to reiterate that point. That's a great thing. Now, I know in the beginning, the start of the relationship is not the greatest, but that's someone you can trust. Someone that's good at flirting, that could be a red flag. I'm not saying it is. Sometimes people see you and they're good at flirting with you because they want you, and it just comes to them. But some people are just not good at it. And some people don't do it because they're not confident. And it takes a lot. And I feel like if you truly meet someone that you're into, I feel like it will come out eventually. But you may be waiting for them. That's the thing with me, is I was really weird when I was young. I remember this one girl, I really liked her and I wanted to ask her out. And I remember I flirted with her one time. At least I thought I was flirting. Apparently she didn't pick up on it because nothing happened. But a year and a half later, I remember we were at a party. And she's like, I used to have a big crush on you, and I don't know why, I always wanted you to ask me out. And I said, well, I flirted with you one time. She's like, you did? And that's when I knew I sucked at it. But some people, a buddy of mine, he was the slickest thing going. He had all the angles. Like, he would flirt with every girl. And I'm like, how do you take that much rejection? Because he'd get turned down lots. And he said, well, if I hit on 10 girls and one says yes, one said yes. And it worked. And not to say all people that are good at it are bad people. I'm just saying, sometimes they're the person that maybe goes through relationships more than you'd want. You're not looking for your next ex. You're looking for that right one. And sometimes the one that you want you too, they just have a hard time getting it out. And I think it's such an old day mentality. I'm fidgety. I'm sorry. I'm always been like this. Sitting still is not my forte, nor is flirting, apparently. But sometimes we're stuck in this old way of thinking that men have to be the one to approach. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but sometimes, you don't have to open the door for them. Just open a window. Especially if you want it. I mean, I'm not saying you should walk around just leaving the window open. I'm just saying, sometimes giving us a little hint is all we need. If you're like somebody and you feel like they like you back, but they're not doing anything, but sometimes it's okay to give them a little nudge. Anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.